Morning all. I figured I'd talk to you about these plant tags that I got on Amazon. So I really like these. They make them a little fancy, right? A little bit of copper finish. So I'll get into this. Excuse the mess. I was actually thinking, because I finished a couple of my raised beds, that, you know, I plant and see what we get for this summer, seeing that I'm late. So that made me think, oh, I should be videoing this and showing you. So again, I got these on Amazon. They're stainless steel. You get 25 of them in a box. I bought these, maybe a year ago. So they come with a plastic seal so it doesn't scratch the front, and then the metal piece to, you know, stake it into the ground. And you could write on them, which I use my garden marker, fantastic marker. Again, the YouTube channels that I follow all recommended this. I finally got around and ordered one off of Amazon again. Yeah, I would agree this is one of the best markers you can find for being out in the weather. All right, so I figured also I would show you, before we get into how to do these markers, is my sketch that I did last year, or 2 years ago, I should say, in regards to the garden it will be working in. So it's a little dirty because it's been used. So I think in my first video I mentioned Berry Lane, which you saw. I had strawberries here. I had raspberries. I had blackberries, but none of the plants survived after I transplanted them out. And blueberries. Only one plant survived, not so well, but we're planning on fixing that. There's a tomato bed that's all full and done. So this is what I figured I'd have in all of my beds, but it didn't quite turn out because I put the turnips in with the asparagus because the asparagus is still new, and I didn't have these beds ready in the spring. My carrots are also in the asparagus bed, and so are the radishes. Didn't get around to planting broccoli or cauliflower. The garlic is here, the spinach is here. The bok choy was actually up in this corner, and then I put Swiss chard here. As you can see, I had Swiss chard over here. The kale is definitely here, but I put the Brussels sprouts over here. The cabbage, I actually put it in and amongst the tomatoes. One, because that bed was ready, and two, I figured it would camouflage, the tomatoes would camouflage the cabbage from the cabbage moth. So we're trying it out. I mean, you know, it is what it is. So I am looking at these two beds, which you saw me in my second video. I did a trellis here in between these two beds. Planted my cucumbers here, and I figured I'd do my zucchini, get that in the ground, see what I can get while, you know, the summer is going well. Anyways, and here's along the fence line. The entry is over here where I go in. Well, probably a little further that way, but so I had grapes here. They didn't make the winter. I found another Niagara seedless grape and I repotted it. Might change that up, but yeah, the idea here is 2-foot raised beds. I'm gonna put my corn here. Not too sure what else, but I figured I'd show you what the layout was that I created three summers ago, and I've been working on it. All right, so let's get into these labels. All right, So these labels, you got to peel off the plastic film that protects it. I'm doing this with one hand. I forgot my tripod, but it's okay. There we go. So what I'm doing too with these is I'm not putting varieties on this. I'm just putting these as the main name of the crops, or right? So as you can see here, I just put zucchini. Sorry, lighting's bad because it's shiny. Zucchini. I pre-made these before I even got around to filling my beds. Broccoli and cabbage. Okay, so there's 2 holes on the top, 2 holes on the bottom, and you basically feed the open end of the spikes into that. So let's see if we can do that. I gotta get creative with this. One-handing this is gonna be difficult. Anyways, let's see what we got. Right, so in through the top. Oh, and I didn't mention, there's a slight bend in these as well. So they display better up a little, you know, up towards a person instead of like off to the side. Oops. So there. Would help if I had the camera on. And through there, and then you just slide it up. Right. And here we get to the bend. Let me just, should have slid that up a little bit more. There we go. We get to the bend and you just push it down. Right, so if you're planting it in the ground, there's a slight tilt. The mosquito wanted to eat me. Right, so of course I didn't write anything on there yet. And I'm right-handed. So using my trusty garden marker, I have some eggplants to get into the ground that I started indoors. So let's get this. There we go. See that? Okay. And what I'll do is I'll bring you to the garden and show you how I already have some of these in the ground for the other beds. Oh, and I wanted to show you that I also bought these tags from Amazon, of course. Mostly everything I get is on Amazon. Unless I could find it local, then I buy it there. But I was buying a lot of these pack of 10 from Dollarama, and I think now they're up to $2 for 10. So I bought, geez, I can't remember how many there were. There was at least 4 packs. I'll have to look it up on my 4 packs that I got for $16, I think it was. But I can't remember the count, how many came in this package. I'll have to look it up. However, these tags, I would write my variety on these tags. So, in the, like I was showing you here, I'm going to be doing zucchini. And I want to do 2 kinds of zucchinis. I'm not sure if that'll show up. This is a Dollarama buy. So I have this green zucchini called dark green. And then I got this one, I think it was from Canadian Tire or maybe even Home Depot, I'm not sure. Maybe even Walmart. Anyhow, this one's called the Gold Rush. So I will put on these tags, what these varieties are, and put these in the same bed, obviously. So yeah, so let me do those, and then I'll take you out to the garden and show you how these look and these look in the garden, the way I have it set up. So, all right, let me just write these out. I do still put that are zucchinis because, you know, I might be able to reuse these next year, and I would want to know what Gold Rush is. I may not remember that Gold Rush is a zucchini. So I always put it at the top, and then I write the variety a little bit bigger if I can. Or if I remember. All right, so that one's done. And then we have the dark green one. So again, I write zucchini. And then I call it, what they call it, dark green. And again, as I mentioned, my trusty marker. Yeah, so those are done. And I will be planting those ones up soon. All right, so let me show you the garden. All right, here's the entry to the garden. It's just fencing that I bent around the rain barrel. I come in, oops, here's my other ruddy Bean. Hi, buddy. No dogs allowed in here, therefore the fence. All right, so you probably see all the white tags pretty easy. So those are all the, you know, the varieties that I have in here. Then, I think it's sunk a little bit more. Do you see that? You see my tag? Just says tomatoes. Dun, 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 dun. I think it looks really pretty. All right. And if I bought some from the stores and the tags came with it, obviously I kept those. I didn't put one of those markers here because I wasn't sure, you know, do you do two? Do you do two for either bed or what? But yeah. And then this year, I don't know, you can see that one there. It's onions and they're sprouting. I put these in really late. So we'll see what happens. So this was actually a purchase from Costco, Canada, called, oh geez, something edible package. Sensational edible package. Anyways, you got 80 onion bulbs and 7 different kinds of potatoes, sorry. The potatoes haven't been planted yet. With some shallots. I think they call them multi-spreading shallots. So you got white onions, yellow onions, and seeing that I finished filling up this bed yesterday, I ended up putting my red onions in here, right? So that's that. So I'm thinking of putting the zucchini here, but they get pretty big, so I might end up putting them over here and putting like let's say 1 in each corner kind of thing, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. We'll see. So as you can tell, I still got 1.5 beds here to do, and waiting for more dirt to show up. That'll be in a few days, I think. Oh, and you want to see this? So, because I was so behind with my beds, look at those onions. I thought I was completely behind or too late to plant these, but we'll see. I mean, even if they come up as small bulbs for the fall when they start dying off, I'll be happy with just having these, and then I'll buy this package again, I think, you know? Anyways, so I bought some cornstarch from Canadian Tire. Planted them in here for now, but I think they should be fine. I should go in there and separate them though, because like there's 3 of them right here. 3 there, 2 in that one, oops, and 2 in that one. So I think I should go in and separate them right now, but we'll see. But yeah, so do you like my plant tags? I really like them. Let's show you here again. There's the peppers. And then what I did is put the variety on the white tags. Right? And that's not all the peppers I have. I still gotta plant more. Same with the beans. There are, I can't even remember how many varieties I got in there. I got 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5 varieties. Let's see what that one says. There you go. 5 varieties in there. And then here, my mishmash bed of things starting to bolt. So we got my spinach, and then the garlic from the fall, my Swiss chard. As you can see, I put some markers there. Right. Yeah, look at that bok choy. Anyways, another mess to clean up in here. And there's a different side view of the Brussels sprouts. There's bean again. Kale, 3 different kinds of kale. So we have the dwarf curly green kale at the end. Right here is the red Russian. And this one's called a dinosaur, and I succession planted that. I actually succession planted the red Russian too, but they're just thriving. And you wouldn't believe it, but I pushed the envelope and planted some beets under here. I figured the shade of the Brussels sprouts would help them out, but they're not doing so well. But yeah, so anyways, there you go. A little bit more than just plant tag, but I wanted to show you what they look like in the produce garden. All right, have a good day. Don't forget to like this video on YouTube, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a good day.